we don't see this COVID going anywhere. Like even after the vaccine is ready, to ensure that vaccine is available to everyone at a rate where people can afford it. You're talking about 130 crore Indians. If I'm just talking about India, we need to adapt. If we don't adapt, our businesses will go down.
So,
Yeah.
hi guys, for today's podcast, we have with us Mr. Harshit Shah. He's the co-founder of LeapUp, and LeapUp basically aims to bridge the gap between academics and industry by providing courses to students and helping them adapt themselves to the work environment. He's also been a faculty at NM College for 6 years, and he's also an alumni of the college. So, welcome, Mr. Harshit, to the podcast. Thank you for being on.
Hi, Kush. Yeah, my pleasure.
So we hope that everything at home is good, everyone's healthy.
Yeah, by God's grace, everything is good here. I hope the same is with you and your friends and
Yeah,
family.
everyone's good at my place too. So we'll get right into it. So my first
Yeah.
question is, firstly, what inspired you to get into the education space, into helping students out?
Okay, so I'm a chartered accountant and a lawyer by education. After I finished my CA studies, I always wanted to start a business. I didn't have any capital of my own. So the easiest at that time was starting my own tuitions kind of a thing where I can take personal tuition and build up some capital. So I started that in 2012, in the end of 2012. And then slowly things panned out. So in 2014, I was a professor at NM College. That's when I felt that career guidance is something which is required. Like students have no idea why they're choosing some field. And just looking at a lacuna, just looking at a space where there was a lot of demand, or there was a void. Like people required genuine career guidance, and weren't people who were giving that. So that's when I started Pursuit Career Managers, which is into education but into career guidance. And in 2016, me and my co-founder Ronak, so Ronak also an alumni of NM College, we were batchmates. We understood the area of skill development. That skills is something which all students miss. I saw so many graduates from NM College, my students, brilliant kids, but just doing the BCom or BMS or BAF, etc., weren't getting good jobs, good pays, etc., because they didn't have the required skills, the practical knowledge. So we thought this is something which we need to impart because we have the knowledge, we know how it happens, and we have a very good corporate connect. Like being a part of NM College, we have an amazing network when it comes to finance firms and all. So we thought we should leverage it and start something where we can help students get the required skills and then get placed in good job profiles or core finance job profiles. So that's how we entered into the field of education and skill development.
So my next question would be: due to the lockdown, many people have started to accept the digital education platforms as the new norm. Basically, now they're just getting used to it. So, do you
Correct.
think that once things have become normal, do you think that digital educational platforms will still be the way to go?
Okay, so right now a lot of this is because it's a necessity. It's not that people are comfortable. So even in our classes, like when we take tuitions also, a lot of parents complain that students have started complaining of eye pain and all, like because they're not used to looking at the laptop screen for a long time. They have college for 3 to 4 hours in a day and then classes for 3 to 4 hours in a day. It's a lot of time in front of the laptop and then in front of the phone. So I feel this is more of a necessity. Obviously, digital is something which is going to pick up, which has already picked up and which will stay. But what we have experienced is it is not possible to give the same quality that we can give in offline lectures as digital lectures. Like in offline, it's much better. So there are obviously a lot of advantages of digital lectures or online lectures. Major is reach, so we can reach wherever we want as professors or as a company. Now we have students from across the world. Right now, we genuinely have students from US, Australia who joined us for our courses too. So that is a very big advantage of digital or online lectures. And you can reach rural India, you can reach tier 2, tier 3 cities. So that's a very big advantage. So according to me, it's gonna stay, but it's not gonna. It doesn't mean that the offline mode of education will go away. I feel both of them will stay together depending on the available resources. So in big cities, you will have both of them. In tier 2, tier 3 cities, the penetration of online will be much higher now. uh, like the quality, like if you want genuine quality, the quality which you can give via classroom lectures is something which is very difficult to I can say repeat or to copy in online lecture. So it will stay. I'm not saying it will go, but it won't be the new norm. Once classrooms open, people will be back to classrooms. And one very big advantage of classroom lectures is networking. So it's family, it's a bond. So when we are like 25 students of mine in a classroom for uh, a year long course, or even for a 15-day short-term course, people know each other, and that network helps a lot in the future, which does not happen over an online class. So that is a very big advantage of classroom lectures, which online doesn't give. So as I said, online is there to stay because there are a lot of advantages in online which classroom doesn't give. But it doesn't mean classroom will go away. People will back to classrooms in at least urban areas where the infrastructure and the facility is available. The resources are good, teachers are available, because the feel of a classroom, it's too difficult to have the same feel on an online lecture.
And so, adding to that, another question would be, recently all of these digital platforms like Byju's and Unacademy, they're growing at a really rapid rate.
Massively, yeah.
And they have billions of dollars of valuation. So do you feel that traditional classroom teachers should not replicate what they're doing, but adapt in some way to provide some recorded lectures or something to their students, which they can see later to compete?
Obviously, we all need to adapt. If we don't adapt, our businesses will go down. Or normal teachers also, if they're teaching colleges and all, the future after a point will become this when it comes to the reach. And one very advantage, at least in a city like Mumbai, is that if you are taking lectures online, you don't need to travel. So right now, for all the faculties who are with us, that's a huge advantage. Like they can take lectures from their place. So as a faculty in NM also, when I was teaching NM, we had faculties or teachers coming in from Bombay also to teach, and they used to travel approximately 3 hours both sides every day. Now, once you are doing online lectures, that goes away, and that gives a lot of time in my hand. So when travel and when there are other infrastructural issues, online gives a very big advantage, and that's why I feel to reach a bigger pool of audience, as well as I can say to save time, to save your own resources, online will be helpful. So adapting to online will be important. Plus, we don't see this COVID going anywhere. Like even after the vaccine is ready, to ensure that vaccine is available to everyone at a rate where people can afford it. You're talking about 130 crore Indians, if I'm just talking about India. Even if someone makes the vaccine, it will take years for the vaccine to be supplied to everyone. So, ऐसा नहीं है कि next 3 months में class खुल जाएंगे. थोड़ा बहुत खुलेंगे भी, but with a lot of precautions and all. But if you talk about just having one student in an area of 15 square feet, approximately 30 square feet, that's what the rules will be. It will become economically unviable after a point. So for some years, at least this is going to stay. And if we do not adapt to it, if any teacher does not adapt to it, they'll be thrown out. In fact, we've seen a lot of classes. What has happened is, let's assume I have 3 branches. So right now, all the students of 3 branches can study together because it's online. So automatically, the demand for teachers has gone down. We've had teachers calling us that if you have any placements or if you have any vacancies, and the rates have been slashed. People who were first charging X per hour are now ready at 0.7x per hour or 0.6x per hour, because overall demand for teachers has gone down as because of the technology. Instead of having different classrooms at different places, people can do it together. I know of a friend of mine who teaches at a place where they have lectures, or they have an institute who have branches across India. So they had different teachers at different places. Now this is the only guy who's teaching all the batches combined. So the other teachers don't have work. So automatically this happens. So that's why if you do not adapt to it, you'll be thrown out. So adapt तो करना ही पड़ेगा. ऐसा नहीं करना पड़ेगा. At least for the next 3 to 4 years, बहुत ही important adapt करना to online education. But in the long run, I say, it will be a mixture. It won't just be online. It will be online plus offline, because as I said, you cannot recreate the feel of an offline class, especially for the students. The students can't enjoy an online lecture as much as they can enjoy an offline lecture.
Yeah.
You meet friends, you enjoy, you have fun, there's a lot of chit chat, आजू-बाजू की बातें होती है. All those happen in an offline lecture, which is very difficult to have do it in an online lecture. So वो long run में वापस आ ही जाएगा, पर next 3-4 years के लिए at least people will have to adapt. There's no option.
A mixture of both types of
Yes,
teaching.
yes, yes. Yes, we will have to. There is an option. We will have to. And at our place at Deepak also, so we teach CFA. Up till now, we had offline lectures only, and we got great results and all. So now we are planning to go pan India online. So it's something which is growing. CFA is something which is growing massively across the world, especially in India. A lot of students are preferring doing CFA because it's a very good option along with your final year of college, and it gives you good jobs, good pay, good value across the globe. So now we're planning to go pan India using the online mode. So as I said, if I do not adapt and if I don't enjoy or if I don't go online mode, I'll be stuck to a specific geographical location for a while now. I can't expand because of this virus. And so if I want to expand, if I want to thrive, the only way is adapting to whatever is there around us.